Jamshed Raza is a star on this TV set. The Psychologist is the host of a weekly program called SelfKnowledge. It's the most successful program on this private TV channel.
ولی بعد از یک هفته و یک ماه ما به انگیزه میشیم دیگه اون هدف را دنبال نمیکنیم.
ما هدف خود درست انتخاب نمیتونیم، روش درست هدف بلد نیستیم. انگیزه همون نیرویی است که انسان به پیش میبره.
It's complicated for psychologists to work here. It's a war-torn and poor country, and all this affects the population greatly. There's depression and psychological problems. TV is the best way to reach the most people.
After 2 decades of war, about 90% of Afghans need some form of psychological support. But there are less than 300 psychologists and personal development counselors for the population of nearly 38 million people.
This program has had a very positive effect on people, whether they're educated or illiterate. I often meet people who tell me that the program has changed their lives. I know people who were suffering from depression who wanted to commit suicide, and the show helped them get better.
Psychologists are also very popular on Afghan radios. This radio station, made by a woman for women, was launched in March.
به ادامه برنامه روانشناسی کودک با تقدیم سلام خدمت شما شنونده‌های عزیز رادیو بیگم.
This is the most listened to program on Radio Begum. Sadiqa Ahmadi takes questions from women listeners who often prefer to remain anonymous.
مثلا عمه کودکایشان است بله یا خالهشان است مثلا یک مقدار معاش تعیین بکنن که هم ایجاد وظیفه شو بر از اونا و هم اطفالشان به سرنوشت نمانه یا به کس در خانه نمانه.
Women need psychological support the most. They're victims of the way our society works. They call anonymously because they're afraid of being seen as mentally ill. Their husbands might want to get divorced or take a second wife.
Hamida Aman is the founder of Radio Begum. She wants to offer direct and anonymous access to psychological help to women in all parts of the country.
We have other problems we need to deal with. When it comes to women, we don't pay attention to their suffering. We blame it on superstition and use other methods to get help, religious and traditional methods, instead of proper medical care.
In Kabul University, more and more students enroll in studies of psychology with a desire to help those who suffer. However, the students themselves are suffering the full brunt of the war. On November 2nd, Islamic State fighters killed at least 22 people here at the campus. Most of them were students.
جلسه قبل ما در رابطه با نشانه ها و علائم اختلال بود. کسی در ذهنش هست؟
دیگه نمیتونه تمرکز کنه. تمرکز اصلا درست نمیتونه. و در هراس میباشه، ترس میباشه.
بسیار. بخش زیادی از محصلین
Many of the students present at the time of the attack suffer from physical and psychological injuries. The University of Kabul, with the Department of Psychology, has decided to launch a training program to treat PTSD.
2 years ago, the university opened a psychological treatment center. Some patients come from outside the university, like this young woman.
بچی دلیل به مرکز مراجعه کردین؟ علت آمدن شما در مرکز چی بوده؟
در خانه هر چیز که باشه باید میخورم زود کار روی کنترل نمیتونم میکنم مثلا کس کدام گپ بالا پایین بگوی بد میخوره
احساس ناامیدی را که احساس میکنی روزانه چند بار به ذهنت میاد؟
که محیط میبینی بیرون میبینی صرف خانه نیست هر چیز در باور است که چی میشه چی هست بیرون میبره مثلا در اینجا زندگی میکنی پس زنده میایینم.
Young people are more interested in psychology. Here, psychological problems are common because of the general context, the suicide attacks, the explosions. They can all lead to war trauma.
With the announcement of withdrawal of all international forces by September, the future in Afghanistan looks bleak to many. Gradually, seeking psychological support seems to be getting a more normal part of life.